The rollout itself usually goes beautifully. On day one, the congratulatory emails go around, the licenses are paid for, and there's genuine excitement in the room about the new shiny software. But check back 4 weeks later. The IT usage dashboards might be green, or green enough, but the actual database is firing maybe one event a day. The handful of people who actually figured out how to integrate the tools into their workflow have either left the company or been promoted away from the daily grind. The organization spent a fortune on technical capability, yet the actual daily work looks almost exactly like the work looked before. Eventually, a VP asks what the return on investment is for all this new technology. This chart illustrates a finding from across the business sector. 80% of companies report zero bottom-line impact from their AI investments. To figure out why, you can't just hire another consultant to sift through the data. You have to skip the slideshows, go downstairs, and talk to the people on the ground who are supposed to be using it. Because if the software works and the employees are perfectly capable, the money is getting trapped somewhere between the invoice and the desk. Most companies operate on the assumption that a new capability reaches an employee the moment a software license is installed on their laptop. The capability is actually delivered by the middle manager, the person who determines the nature of the work, defines quality, and decides if 20 minutes spent arguing with a chatbot is diligence or slacking. When employees have a manager who actively supports AI, they are nearly 9 times as likely to say it changed their work. But that lever sits unpulled. Fewer than 1 in 3 workers receive this active support, and the timing is terrible. At the exact moment we decided that managers would be the delivery mechanism for this massive change, global manager engagement has quietly dropped to just 22%. The organization bought the technological capability, but completely skipped the only person who could have actually installed it into the workflow. This graph tracks productivity over time, showing experienced developers initially take 19% longer on real tasks. Learning a new workflow means being slower and worse at your job, in public, in front of the person writing your performance review. Sending an email saying the company permits AI use does nothing to fix this. Managers actually have to model it, meaning they open the tool on real work and let their team watch them get it wrong twice before it comes out right. The manager's primary role here is to provide cover. This means spending their own credibility to protect their team's learning curve. Cover is saying out loud that the hour someone spent failing to get a useful answer out of a model will not come up in their annual review. It's budgeting for the initial dip in team numbers so it doesn't become a crisis in month 2. If the person above you hasn't explicitly removed the penalty for experimenting, you are going to prioritize your immediate job security, stick to what you know, and leave the AI untouched. This creates a deep cognitive dissonance inside modern companies about who actually feels safe failing. This chart compares viewpoints within the same organizations. 21% of leaders believe that experimenting with AI is rewarded regardless of the outcome. Only 10% of employees agree. That gap is the whole problem. Executives are funding innovation at the top, but workers are actively avoiding punishment at the bottom.
The contract you signed, the one with the software seats, the support tiers, and the data processing addendum, is actually the cheap half of the investment. The expensive half is the 20 or 30 middle managers who will ultimately decide, mostly behind closed doors, whether this tool is used properly or just performed for the dashboard. They are the half that decides whether the software returns anything at all. If your budget allocates more to the tooling than to coaching those managers, your entire strategy is upside down. So before the next software renewal, you have to answer a very specific question. Who by name is actually going to make it safe to switch this on for your team?